G'day mates, how's it going? You're on DirtByte. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2025 Highlands Fishing Expansion DLC. So you joined me a little bit later in April from the last episode. We've got to get some more crops planted today, as well as get the rolling done in the soybean field that we just planted last time. So I'm going to get set up for that first. I'm going to get a worker to do that one for us, so that we can head into field 22 and plant the sorghum that we're going to put into there. So we'll get this one underway just briefly, get in here and get it unfolded. This will just help with the yield of the soybeans. Well, let's get him prepared. Let's get the AI worker map up. So that's all good. I'm happy with the default settings for that. And then that should be it. Yep, there's our worker. He's going to go and deal with that before we go and do the planting. So we've got the sorghum set. We have got fertilizer of 60% in there, plus we have a full hopper load of sorghum seed, which is going to be at probably more than enough, but if it's not, we do have two lots of bags on the side of the field for us to use. With this seed, obviously, or this planter, we have to get it connected up in the middle so we can get it all folded up into the correct working position. And then from this, I think this is the final item we need to seed at this point. So once we get this seeded, we'll have to roll this as well. But we can get all that done in April. I think that'll be the correct month. So let's just double check our calendar to find the sorghum here. So yes, we can plant it now, and then that should be able to harvest in August, which would allow us enough time to turn the field around to put in the wheat or the barley for the following year. So that is, yeah, that's right. Oh, I've crashed into my seed bags, which is not good. Given the width of this planter, it shouldn't actually take very long to get this field completed. Get the steer and assist lines going as well for here. Helps if you're in the right gear. There we go, steer and assist. Planter is on. Sorghum is going in. Let's just double check that. So on the map, sorghum is that one. Yeah, perfect. So we're going to need to get this done. Once we've got this done, we'll be able to check back up on our production over in, or our constructable over in the forest. I reckon by now we should have been able to move on to the next step, because it is later in the afternoon than when we looked at it previously. Then we'll probably be able to move on pretty swiftly into September. By the time we get into September, our stonemasonry company should have been able to generate a fair few of the ceiling or the roof tiles, which is something we're going to need for our shack that we're building, as well as the castle at some point. We haven't been up to the castle for quite a while, so I think it would be worthwhile heading up there a little bit later in the episode to see how we're going with that. I imagine that they're probably getting quite the way through some of those initial steps, especially during the fact that we delivered plenty of stones and timber up there or the last time we went. So I'm pretty confident they're still going to be requiring the stones, though. I think that's probably going to be one of the main requirements for the constructable. Castles are mostly stone, aren't they? So what I think we'll just get this all done as a time-lapse, and then we'll go and start following up on some of our constructables. So sit back and enjoy.
Stars align above the field tonight. Bodies moving to ancient rhythm. Feel the earth beneath our feet. Sacred ground where strangers meet. Drums are calling out our names. Hearts are wild, souls untamed. Round and round we spin, let the magic in. This is where we belong. We are ritual dancing under heaven's dome. Every voice enchanting, never dance alone. We are ritual dancing till the break of dawn. Feel the pulse advancing. This is our song.
Here we are, just this last little bit to finish off. It has not taken very long at all with this planter. It's a beautiful working width, and it works at a great speed too. And with the JCB tractor, it's a combination made in heaven. Like, really good. I really enjoy using the planters for planting what we have done recently, because yeah, it has got that extra working width. Then our seeder, that is, I think it's only a 6-meter seeder. And just unfold or fold this all up so we can get it back to the yard. Yeah, no, having this extra width is really quite great. Disconnect. Do need to bring that seed back to the yard at some point. I keep forgetting to get it. Luckily in the game it has no bearing where the seed and everything is left outside. But obviously if that was left there in real life, a little bit of rain and that would just be huge pile of growing seed, and yeah, it just would not be usable at all. But luckily in the game things don't rot or don't get worn out or anything like that too badly. So now that's done, I'm going to take this back. I'm not sure if we're going to have anywhere to park this planter in the yard. We do have that shed behind the sheep that possibly could warrant putting this in there. I do know that when we first started the game, there was a loading wagon included as the starting machinery. Well, we haven't really used that. It's only been sitting in the shed. I don't think we would do. We've got bigger machines now, and then we got one of the bigger loading wagons when we did the silage last time. So I think we could possibly sell that. If we just have a quick look at it. So this machine here. So the Pottinger Boss Alpen 521. Yeah, I think that we could probably get rid of that, and although it'd probably stick out a bit, we can put the planter into here. Or alternatively, I could try and put the planter into this shed over here next to the seeder, which would give it a bit more protection from the weather. And it's a bit of a longer shed, so maybe this would be a good spot. Yeah, so I think, yeah, we'll give it a go there. And then we'll leave this for some smaller sheds. We could probably put the weeder back over here. But definitely want to get rid of that and sell that. So we'll do that at some point today, hopefully, if I remember. So I'm just going to try and get this put away. Now, it's a long machine. It's a tight area. And I'm not exactly the best at reversing things. I mean, in real life I probably am, but on the game, it's a little bit more tricky. So let's see how I go. I might do this in real time, but also maybe a bit quiet so I can concentrate. You're going to miss that post? No. Alright, take two. A bit further away. Now we'll go back like that. JCB's twin steering tires do actually make it easier, I think. A bit more maneuverability, especially once we start getting closer. I think that's okay. Need to just try and straighten up now. We've hit the post, the next post in. So take three. Alright, let's see if we can get closer to the post on this side before turning the back end in too fast. Yeah, that's looking better. Now we can turn it in and try and square it up. So we can get the JCB to follow. No, we'll still hit the back, but I think we can get in okay from here. full lock on the JCB to swing that tail around, and then just slowly bring it back. There we go. I think we've got it. We're in. So it took 3.5 goes, but we're fully in. Have a quick look at my efforts. So yeah, it fits in the shed well. Then they're right hard up against the back wall. So yeah, that's good. And it didn't actually take too much. I think that having the dual steering JCB is a really good thing. It's really handy and helpful for doing tasks like that. Right, well, I think we can probably finish with the JCB for now. What we might do is we'll check on the cows before we go into the next bit of field work, because we did need to check on them later in the day. So let's just hook up and check the water first. So that's a completely out of order, that tanker. And we'll just see how much they have got in the trough. There's still a bit in there, but it's definitely getting low. So yeah, we definitely need water today, and we're almost out of hay. So I don't want to put any more TMR in there until we've finished the hay completely. Then we can fill it up totally with TMR. Like I said, when we filled it up the last time, I wanted to go and get the bigger tanker. So we're still, I think this is on high even, this tanker possibly. So I want to go and take this one back and get one of the big 25,000 litre tankers, I think. I think that's the size of them. I'm not 100% sure. Go there, I've got to get the beacons on so all the cars can see us coming. Because, like I've said before, a bright yellow tractor coming down the road at 60 kilometers an hour is very hard to see, unless you've got the two little flashes on the top. So let's go head down to the store. I'm going to return this or sell this tanker depending on what the status is, and then we're going to upgrade to the bigger tanker. So I'm just going to buy the bigger tanker outright. We're going to need it anyway. I am thinking that we're going to work towards some sort of milking. Oh, that's weird. So there was a bit of a freeze, and then this was reset to here. So obviously the worker has had some sort of glitch, which, well, they're workers. They're not exactly the smartest computer program ever. They're better than the previous workers, but still, they are just workers in a computer game. So, I mean, you expect to have some issues every now and then. But we'll worry about this first. Also, while we're here, we will be able to have a quick look. So, there's the bigger, what was it, the 200 or the 190 front end loader attachment that we did change last time. I don't think I actually highlighted the difference. So you can see with the 150, it's a lot closer. The bigger one came out quite a bit further, and I just think for this setup, this is probably the best size. Now, we possibly could keep this until we get the bigger JCB, because I plan on getting the biggest JCB at some point in the large tractor category, but I don't know if that can even have a front end loader, whether it's worth putting one on. So this is something that we want to aim towards, and it doesn't look like there's any options for a front end loader on that, which is understandable. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this front end loader, and we're going to get rid of that trailer. We're going to keep that. This has got to go. That's got to be returned, yes. So we've been paying a rent on that. And we're going to get rid of the 190. Yeah, that's it. So, excellent. So we've got rid of those couple of things. And while we're in the store, we need to find the new tanker that we're going to get. So it should be in the animal category, I'm thinking. Here we go. Barrels, I reckon. This is $25,000, 8,000 litres. I think the one we had was... Oh, so it's not a huge improvement. It's only less than 2,000 litres more. I mean, at least we're going to buy it outright, I suppose. This would be something that would be ideal in the future, but I think that we should just go with this one to start with. Let's see what colours we can get. So there's chrome, there's silver, there's white. Nope. definitely don't like that. I think the chrome is going to be the best. Yeah, that looks good. I think we'll just keep it as standard. So we'll buy that. Go and connect that up. And go and sort that out first. And then I'll have to work out how far the worker got with the rolling in that field. And then we'll probably go and finish that off, as well as rolling in the sorghum that we've just done with this. Alright, so let's hook this on. It'd be so good if we had a water point close by. So let's just have a look to see what they have as the regard to water points and water options for filling water up. We're going to construction. I don't know where it's going to be. We just have to have a little bit of a look through. Purely decorative is I'm assuming there is some sort of water point that we can get. Have a look. There's the generators, cultivation, it's greenhouses, selling points, and factories. No, so maybe in this one, shed, silos, solar extensions, constructables, containers. Maybe it's a container. Tools and farmhouses. So maybe there's not an actual place of water point that you can actually buy. It comes in the base game. I'm not 100% sure. So let's just assume that there's not for now. I'll have to do some research into that and work out if there is. And if so, we might get it, because it's a bit tedious coming down to the river every time to fill up our water tanker. And also, it's probably not the best thing to be doing technically, because who knows what's in the water. And we're feeding it to our animals that we want to keep healthy. So obviously we want to make sure they're getting good quality water when we remember to feed them, that is, because yeah, they have run out of water a number of times, but they've survived. It's obviously got enough moisture from the rain or whatever on the grass. But yeah, really we should be considering the quality of the water as well as making sure they actually have it. Now with this bigger tanker, I'm assuming that we're still going to have to fill up at the same place. I know with the other barrel I was able to reverse it in nicely, but I don't anticipate being able to reverse the dolly in very well. Something I'm definitely not very good at is reversing with a dolly, so we're just going to drive straight in. And let's fill it up. While we're here, we might as well chuck a line in, see if we can catch a fish. I do like that they've added the aquaculture to Farming Simulator. Again, it adds another level of interest. Something a bit different to just field work. I really liked when they integrated the really big forestry update in 2019 with the Silver Run Forest map. I think that added extra levels to the game, and it just makes it more enjoyable and gives us more to do and more reasons to keep playing on a map and more interest. So I just have to concentrate on trying to catch those fishes. It's a bit of a tricky fish. Hopefully it's not a salmon on a wall-mounted board, a singing salmon. Oh, excellent. So we actually caught a trout. I don't think we've caught very many fish. We have caught a few random things like signs and different things, but not very many fish. So I'm really happy that we got a trout. And then back in. So let's see if this tractor has the ability to pull this 8,000 litres of water out of the river over a massive rock. And it absolutely does. This is yeah, I'm very pleased with the JCB tractor. It's quickly becoming my favourite tractor. Now, alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back up to the farm, give the cows the water, and then we'll check out what's happening with the New Holland. So I'll meet you back up at the farm in a couple of minutes. So welcome back. We've got up here safely with the water. That's filling in now, so that's good. We should be able to leave the tanker here disconnected, and it probably will be able to fill up the trough just through gravity as it's needed as the cows drink it. So the cows still have a little bit of food. We'll check on them again before we move through to the next month. So let's just shut the JCB off here. We don't need that for now. Let's head back down to the New Holland and get that underway again. So I have no idea why it just randomly reset. A bit strange to me, but that's okay. We're going to head back up and get the sorghum rolled. And it looks like from when I drove past the field that all the soybean field was rolled correctly. So I'm assuming that the worker finished, and at some point during the worker's finished script, it caused an error. We'll go get those beacons on. Caused an error that caused it to reset. So if I'm just going to put this on to cruise control, I'm going to have a quick look at the map for rolling. Which one is it? Yep, I knew that was going to happen. This is why they tell you shouldn't be on your phone and drive at the same time, because you'll run over cars and signs. But despite that, I'm going to do it again. So it needs rolling. Yeah, that field's all done. So that's all good. What we're going to do is we're going to head straight up into the sorghum field, and we're going to get that rolled as well. I'm going to roll this one this time. I haven't done rolling. Did I do the rolling in the sunflowers? Yeah, I would have done the rolling in the sunflower field. So it shouldn't take too long. It is a 12.5 meter roller, and I think we can do a pretty decent speed with it. So it shouldn't take us too long. We will obviously do it as a time lapse. Once this is done, we should be able to move forward in time. We will just top the cows up with food before moving through to May. Sorry, I don't know why I was saying we're in August, but yeah, before moving forward to May, then we'll be able to go around our productions and see, and the constructables, and see where everything's at. So sit back and enjoy this, and I'll see you over at the cows when we're filling up their TMR.
Dusty boots on a digital plane, twang guitar, synth refrain, sunsets glow, a pixelated hue, this old country feeling brand new. Me a prairie where the tumbleweeds roll to a drum machine beat, losing all control. 80s echoes and a cowboy's squeal under the stars, wild and free. Classic beats, steady pulls through the static, my heart exults. From the honky tonk to the arcade light, dancing till dawn through the digital night. We're putting on the tumbleways for to the country seat beat, good steel options full. Hey, trippers every back those me, gungeon stars, wild and free.
Truth, this took a lot longer than I expected. Although the roller has got a good working width, I can only do 12 kilometers an hour, which, I mean, makes sense, but it does, yeah, seem to drag on a little bit. No pun intended from that, but we are now finished. So we can hold the roller up. Oh, come on, tractor. Obviously it's having a bit of trouble with the roller folding up. So we're going to take this back to the farmyard. I think with the roller, we're just going to leave it outside. So I've put the cultivator out behind one of the walls that we've got near the storage shed for the crops. I'm just going to put this beside it. There's no need to put things like this under cover, I don't think. I mean, a bit of rain on it will be good. We'll actually wash the mud and the dirt off the roller itself, which is all good in my book. So put this away, put the New Holland away, and then I just need to top up the TMR for the cows, and then we'll move through to September. So in September, we're going to have weeding to do. So we've got our weeder out there already. We're also going to be able to follow up on our constructables for the castle and the shack, and see how our production of castle stones and roof tiles are going down at the stonemason. So I think this is alright to park these two here at this point. We may end up just put a little bit of gravel down in this area, sort of like expanding the yard out a little bit for our trailed machines or trailed equipment that doesn't actually need to have storage in a shed. So let me just go and put the JCB into somewhere nice. Will it fit inside the theater there? I think it will. Perfect. All right. So let's go back to the big JCB. You have to move the tanker out of the way. This is a problem with this cattle pasture where we need to have both the tanker and the mixer or in place, or if you're not using a mixer, the load up the feed trough. I would love to get a bigger cow pasture sometime soon with the water already plumbed in, which would make it quite a bit easier. So we should be able to just dump this off here. I wonder if it's going to take the rest. It probably will do, yeah. So let's just see how they go and see if that's almost filled it. So going to the cows, it's almost there. We are going to have to make a new mix soon. So instead of leaving that here, I might take this back over towards... No, I'm not going to fit through there. That's jackknifing. Yeah, everything's just... Come on. I'm going to fit through. No. Well, that was terrible. Very noob rookie player stuff, that is. But it's fine. It's just the way it is. The good thing in this game is, you know, it's not actually your money. If you run into things and damage stuff, doesn't matter. But anyway, the cows are all good. I think the sheep are all good. I'm going to take this back over here to the yard and get it just parked up, ready to make up another mix. We have to do another mix in the next month or two. I think if I was just able to leave it over this way somewhere. Yeah, I think somewhere over here will be good. Alright, so that'll do. So that's good for us to make another mix. Just going to leave the JCB right here. Turn the beacons off so we don't end up running the battery flat. Now, before we do make another mix of TMR, I am thinking about what we can do to help load up the silage. So it's only 1,000 litres per scoop in with the fork. And we probably need like maybe 10,000 litres, 8 to 10,000 litres of silage into this mixer. So it doesn't take too long, but there are better options like the JCB loader that we use for the onions. And I am considering getting that. But again, we need to have the money for it. And I look up and think, oh, we've got $142,000. Excellent. But realistically, we still owe $900,000. So I don't want to go and spend too much. We do need to focus on paying that back. And we have other expansion items that we want to get to. All right, let's go through to the next month, to May. And I'll see you in a minute. Good morning. Welcome back. And, yeah, it sounds like it's raining outside. Which it is. That's okay. That's fine. We don't need to be doing any field work just this morning. I don't think we're going to go for a bit of a drive around and check out some of our other income streams. First, I want to head over to where the shack product or constructable is going. I actually don't know what it's officially called. I just like calling it the shack. Makes sense to me. Very, well, I suppose it's an Australian thing, but for me, yeah, you have a little outhouse or a little donga out in the wilderness. It's just a shack. And we're going to be able to make some good money from our shack once it's completed. Beacons on. I better put the headlights on too. It's raining, so need to be extra safe in this weather. Hopefully we're not going to skid out with slippery roads with our massive tractor. So nice, this tractor. The only problem is, like I said, it takes a lot of braking. Okay, so doesn't look like there's anything's happened. Should have moved. Maybe it all happens at the end. Yeah, that's very strange. I would have expected to see something. I hope there's not going to be an issue with this, because I think I placed it in free mode to allow it to be built in here, because it's probably too close to some of the other items like the trees. Yeah, so that could be a bit of a concern or a bit of a problem. So it's something that we may end up not being able to complete. I don't know whether it's worth continually feeding it and seeing what happens. Like, I would have expected to see at least the frame and the walls up, especially since it's asking for roof shingles or roof tiles. So I'm not sure. I think what we'll do, I think we will bring some roof tiles over for it. But yeah, I don't know. If it goes through another step and nothing comes up, I think we may have to abandon it and try again. We would have lost some of our timber and roof tiles, but don't want to continue with it if it's not going to work. So I'm not sure what to do. Yeah, we'll try and move it through this next step, and if nothing shows, we should just try and build one out here somewhere and see what the process is. Like, for example, if we were to just, well, I've got into the wrong menu, go into the construction menu here. It's under, is it under the factories, or is it, which one was it under? Let me just find it and I'll bring it back in a second. Yeah, it was under the constructables menu. So maybe it would be worth just trying to put one down where we know it's going to work. Maybe just like in this area somewhere. Although I know it's not as practical. Maybe down the side here, like this could maybe be a little bit of a farm stay. You got the cows and we've got the sheep. So yeah, let's just put one here. We've got to bring some stuff to it. I'm just going to not change any of the settings. We're just going to spend nearly the $800 to do the ground leveling as well. Oh wow, let's have a look. That didn't look like it was very successful. Like it lifted everything up too much, so maybe I need to, yeah, I can see from here it's not, yeah, it's not the best. So I think what I probably need to do is I probably need to actually like flatten the land first. But can we get rid of that now? Yes we can. We're not getting very much back from it. Very little in fact, but there's all a bit of testing. Let's try and get the flattening tool, and I reckon at this level here, I think that's working. Let's just make it a little bit bigger and maybe change it to be a square shape. Pick that level there. It's a bit, yeah. Not exactly the best, but we'll just flatten it out a bit, give it a nice big area. So that way we can do is use the soften to like soften the banks and soften up a bit. Should we soften that road so we don't have any speed bumps? Let's just try that again. So we're going to go to this one. I think it's the constructables. Yes, the very bottom. So that's better. It's not going to charge anywhere near as much for the landscaping. It looks like it's potentially going to be not like level at the front. So I think we're just going to turn it around that way, so we can have a car park on the flat side. Yeah, no, that's all right. Let's just see what we can do with the smoothing. I think we can do some smoothing in time. I'm just going to cut it back a little bit further for now. And then once it's all built, we'll do some landscaping and stuff around and smooth it out. And the place I just want to make sure this is nice and flat on this side. That looks good. And then I'll just give a bit of smoothing down here, especially like I said, on the road. So let's have a look at that. So that looks a lot better to me. Looks pretty smooth here. Once it's built, we have to put a car park here, and then I'll plant some trees around. We'll give this a really nice landscape finish. And then, yeah, we have to come in here, sit, look over our cows, over the valley. I think that'll be nice. So we do need to bring, what do we say? We've got planks and wooden beams for here. So since we're in the process of doing this, let's head back to where we were. And let's go and grab what we've got. So I think we have got enough over at the first site. Was it 2 planks of 1 beams or... Oh, wow. Brakes need improvement on that tractor. So we need 2 wooden beams and 1 long planks to get through the next stage. So let's head back over here and see if we've got that. I'm not confident we do. I think we've got plenty of planks, but not the long beams. I think I only brought 3 long beams over. So that's right, we'll have to go and get some more long beams and some roof tiles from our productions before, and we'll make sure we don't sell them off at the castle when we go up there. Let me grab a couple of these and I'll meet you back over there in a couple of minutes. I think we need to start calling this the JCB because it is amazing, this tractor. It's just picked up 3 pallets of wood and without even blinking an eye, like it literally just picked up, and there's no, like, it's just, yeah, I'm lost for words how this tractor is going. And other than the fact that that's glitched a bit, but that's not the tractor's fault. I can do anything with it. I don't know. Let me just see what the issue is here, and I'll be back with you. Yeah, it's all good now. I don't know what the issue was, but I think it may be something to do with the fact that we do have the front weight, and must have been an interaction with that and that one pallet. One thing I did notice here is how soft the ground is. Like, we've literally just drove on there a little bit with our tractor, and it is sunk down quite a way. That's probably like 5-6 inches. So it's a very soft soil, this, especially in the rain. So I don't envy the team working on our shack. I've been there, done that. I've worked in those sorts of conditions, and yeah, it is not much fun at all. But also remembering that the front weight was still on this tractor, I'm even more amazed because we had the front weight, 3 pallets, and it was, it was great. But we don't need the weight on, so I'm going to bring the weight back up into the yard. I'll just drop it off over this side somewhere. And that will stop it from being a problem in the future while we're out and about picking up and dropping off the stuff that we need to do now. So I'm going to connect up to our flatbed trailer, which is not that. That is a very hard stone wall that we've just run into. But I was going to clear it because the trailer is over in this vicinity. There it is. Alright, so before we head over there, I just want to quickly teleport up to the castle and see what it actually needs, because I don't want to keep taking stuff up there unless it's actually needed. So we are starting to use some of these products ourselves. So let's just do the magical teleportation straight up to wherever it is, somewhere down here. Visit. Wow, so we're up to stage 11 and we're needing roof shingles. So we need 5,000 liters of roof shingles. So I'm glad I checked because there's not much point coming up here unless we have the roof shingles to go with it. And it is looking really good. Got the framing in, the timber framing for the roof. Got, for some reason, even though I'm a carpenter and I've worked on these sorts of buildings and installed roofs like that. I cannot recall what any of the items are called. Oh, that's probably the ridge. Yeah, that's definitely the ridge. Then rafters. Ridge and rafters are in. So I don't know why it took me so long to recall that. So anyway, so we know what we need here. Let's head off down to our stonemason building and see what we've got here. So we've got 2,900 litres of roof shingles and nearly 10,000 litres of castle stones. So let's face it, we don't need any castle stones up at the castle though. We need roof shingles. We only have almost 3 pallet loads, which we're probably going to need ourselves. So I think we just need to I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the spawn point out here. And yes, we're going to use a little bit of super strength magic as well. So that's the thing, when we're just playing these playthroughs, we can use all these different mods. I want to see what the roof shingles are going to look like. Well, that's what they're going to look like. They're going to trap me in. So we've got 2 pallets of roof shingles there. A lot of castle stones. Oh, better let go of that one. That's all of the stuff that we've got here. So we're going to need these 2 up at the farm for each one of our productions. So I think we should just come and do a quick load, grab these couple of things, and then take them back up. Move this one out of the way as well. Alright, so let's find the tractor we want. I don't think we need to bring the big tractor and the big trailer down. We'll just bring the little tractor. We haven't taken that for quite a while. Enter vehicle. Yes, we do have some seed on there. Let's just take that up into the shed. Still raining here. It's still very wet. But we have arrived safely at the sawmill. Was a bit touch and go there. The trailer did lift up a couple of times. But I saved it. It was all good. So I can see that we have got 1 pallet of beams there. So we'll pick that up first. Would be nice to have 2 the same height. So it would be nice to have 2 pallets of beams. So when we put our roof shingles on, we're going to have a more level surface to put it on. So I'm assuming that there is going to be another wood beam pallet spawn right there. So we'll just wait it out and hopefully it's not one of the other items. Perfect. So I thought that might be the case. And we should be able to pick 2 up, no problem with this tractor setup. Excellent. So I don't know if we're going to need the 2. I don't know what the next stages of the shack construction are. But at least we've got them. If we need them, and if not, well, we can always take them up to the castle when needed. Which will probably be a little while off because it's going to need those roof shingles first. Hopefully that's going to come off okay, not going to stick. Excellent. This tractor is an excellent one for just running around and doing these sorts of little tasks. Back up. Make sure we strap it on. Alright, so next stop is roof shingles. I'll just drive over there and I'll meet you there when we're loading up. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes again. Alright, coming up onto the stonemason. I can't believe it's still raining. One thing I do really like about the new version of Farming Sim 2025, is the addition of the water. Just connect this. Yeah, so the water animations and the water things like the rice, because the rain looks super good. And I love how actually things get wet, they get the shine. It looks like it's actually wet. Like the vehicles and the ground and the roads, everything. It just is, yeah, brings another depth to the gameplay. And for me, like, I play in 4K. Let me just concentrate quickly. Yeah, so I play in with a 4K monitor because I got a 4K monitor not that long ago. But I record and export everything in 1440p because although I do have a pretty powerful computer, it's not quite up to recording and encoding in 4K yet. I will have to upgrade my GPU at some point. So for me, it looks amazing in 4K. Like, getting the 4K monitor was a huge improvement to the look of it for me, and especially with the rain. Just gotta get this on here. Ease out nice and slowly. Perfect, yeah. So for example, like the tires, they look wet. There's water drips on them. The tractor as well. Even like all this, and the way the water like splashes off the ground when it's raining. It just seems so very realistic to me. So yeah, that's a very big plus for Farming Simulator 2025, I say. And I really like that, well, as with anything, each version is getting more and more details and more features. So that's really good. Looking forward to, I suppose, Farming Sim 2027 will be announced at some point this year. Is that the cycle, I think? Yeah, that door. So, yeah. Hopefully by the time that comes out, I'll be able to upgrade my computer a bit. So, it's not necessarily underpowered or a small computer. I do have a i9-14900K processor from Intel, and well, I think it's got 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is just enough for what I want to do. And I have a RTX 3080, which now is what, 4 or 5, getting close to 5 years old. So these aren't like small, like underpowered items, and especially, oh wow, that's very top heavy now. And especially, you know, for playing games, but just trying to play and encode in 4K, it's a bit too much on the equipment. So yeah, I don't anticipate that I'll be able to actually record and upload 4K video for a little while yet. And the other limitation I have is I've got a limited internet speed at the moment. It's a little while before I can upgrade to a higher speed. I'm pretty sure here we can get pay for 2000 megabytes down and up. So yeah, that's not a real problem. It's just got to wait a little bit till the plan I'm on now has finished up. I'll probably end up doing that, and that will also help with the 4K uploads when I've had a better GPU upgrade. But with the price of computing parts and that, it's probably going to be a little way off before that's possible. So it's just one of those things, but yeah, it's definitely an improvement for me playing in 4K. What we'll do is I'm just going to head up to the farm. We'll cut out here and I'll meet you back up at our second shack. I'm not going to give the shack in the wilderness any roof shingles just yet. I want to see how our second shack goes and see if it has the same progression, if it just doesn't show anything until the end. But if it does move forward to the next progress bar and a frame or something has been built, then we'll know that the other one is glitched and we'll just stop the construction of that and we won't take any more equipment or roof shingles or wood beams or anything to it. So it's not wasting too much money effectively. So I'll see you back up at the second shack and we'll offload our wood beam. Alright, we're almost there now. Just going to pull up on the edge here and disconnect the trailer as well as the straps. And if I can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and take off one pallet of, if I don't run into the trailer, I'm going to try and take off one pallet of the beams and one pallet of the shingles together and drop them both into the spawn point at the same time. It may not take the shingles yet because it hasn't asked for them, but if I can just do this nice and delicately, it will be an efficient way of doing it. Gotta get it all lined up nicely. Bit hard doing this in 2D. That should be enough. I just want to slide that other pallet door to the middle so the tray doesn't tip off. There we go. Nice. Just gently, gently, gently. Excellent. What happens when you're a certified forklift operator? You can do stuff like that. Even in the rain and with a tractor. Oh, so it did take that. So obviously it knew it's going to need it at some point in the future. Excellent. So, well, yeah, the ground is very wet here. So much so that even the gravelly, is it gravel or asphalt? Possibly gravel actually has sunk in a bit there. So we're all good, fully underway here with this. We'll see how the other one goes. We probably won't be able to continue with it. I don't think. I suspect it is glitched. Which, yeah, I was worried about when we placed it. That's fine. I think that's enough for today. We'll leave it here. If you're very keen to see how all this goes, if this one works and if that one doesn't, or want to see how our crops that we've planted and rolled today go, please do remember to like and subscribe. But for now, remember to keep your boots dirty and your bites clean. I'll catch you next time on DirtByte.